Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to this Crodion webinar. Nice to see the waiting room filling up. I hope everyone can hear me and see me loud and clear. Nice to meet you all. My name is Jonathan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Crodion. And the next 20 minutes, I will be entertaining you with this live webinar. Here's what we will talk about today. A quick introduction about Crodion, how our technology works. Then I have a couple solutions for the construction sector, data collection for the construction sector, some customer testimonials, and how you can get started quickly. The timing will be 20 minutes sharp and then 10 minutes Q&A. Don't hesitate to put your questions in the chat or in the questions tab. We will definitely answer all of them live here on stage. So let's get started. About Crodion. I'm going to start with a small story because it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon and we don't want you to fall asleep. So some storytelling back to 2015. We are in Zarren, Kortemark, West Flanders, a part of Belgium, where the man in the picture, it's the father of my co-founder Sam, is the farmer who we built the first sensor system for. He was sleeping next to his irrigation system at night. This is the system you see here on the picture. So we asked ourselves, why is this farmer doing that kind of weird stuff? Why is he not using sensors? The technology is already existing. And he also had a pigsty where the ventilation crashed every now and then. And even when it was 30 degrees outside, he did not get an alarm notification for this. So this kind of weird, old-fashioned situations. And Sam and I, we asked ourselves, how can we help this man? He told us we can definitely build something, but if he had to be using it, it would have to be super easy to use. That was his recommendation. So that's the idea that we started Crodion about 2015. That was so 10 years later. We are now a company of 5 people with 400 customers in 15 countries, and the system that we have built is still the same thing that we've started for this man almost 10 years ago. So we are a team of 5 based in Ghent, Zweinaarle Technologiepark. We are an electronics manufacturer, and we raised external funding in 2 rounds the past 4 years. That is to professionalize the technology that we have been building over these years. We build remote monitoring systems for water, weather, and indoor climate. And the construction sector is one of our favorite sectors that we are active in. So how does it work? What have we built? Everyone is talking about data, about AI, about algorithms nowadays. On LinkedIn as well, there's so much good news about the future of AI. But sometimes if you go to the construction yard today, you will definitely know this, all of you. Not everyone is working with data already. Sometimes there is no data. Sometimes we are really back to basics. You have an old machine or an old way of working, and if you have no electronics, then you have no sensor data. And for many projects, definitely the small projects, the cost of overhead and manual work is the reason why these small projects are not happening. If your project is just a few €1,000 of revenue, then you cannot afford to go there to sell this, to make quotes, to have a training session, to build and program something custom. You have to have easy standardized technology, or this kind of project is not profitable. So what we have built at Crodion is a standardized sensor device for easy data collection in the construction sector. I have it here with me. It's the famous Reporter. It's a simple standardized sensor device with a wireless connection to the cloud, plug and play hardware, and plug and play software. Easy to use, easy to understand, and easy to buy. What do we measure with this device? Of course, the basic parameters like temperature, wind, rain, level, but also the more complicated parameters like dew point, leakage detection, flow sensors, light, humidity, and so on. Actually, as long as there is a good sensor on the market, we can read it with Reporter. Along with the device, we sell a simple dashboard, the Corodion Cloud dashboard, and data of your reporter, of the sensors connected to your reporter, will end up in the dashboard automatically. So this standardized, automated way of working is what makes projects profitable, where in the past they used to be harder to solve because of custom work. There's also a REST API, so if your company has a cloud platform of your own, maybe Power BI or Grafana or something, then you can connect it to this platform as well. Oh, and Reporter is grid or solar powered. Another important component that I'd like to introduce is our sensor adapter. I have one of these as well. This is how we connect sensors of third-party manufacturers to our reporter. So every port on the reporter is compatible with any kind of sensor output, voltage output, milliampere output, digital signals like UART or Modbus as well. And that's because we convert the sensor signal in the adapter. The Corodion dashboard, cloud.corodion.com. It's a simple application where you can view your data. It's not the most complicated platform, but that's not what you're looking for. If we want to make data collection projects easy, then you have to have a simple dashboard. The platform has basic features like alarm notifications using SMS, phone call, or email. You can invite other companies to look to your data as well. And you can manage your device, name your sensors, configure the interval, and so on. And the platform is always connected to each and every reporter. That's how we make it easy and standardized. It's browser-based, so you don't have to install any firmware or software on your PC. How do you install your reporter? How do you get it up and running? It's just plugging in the sensors. So you open one of these ports. These are M12 connectors. You plug your sensor in and it's detected automatically. You can use the reporter outside. It's IP67 and you don't have to build an enclosure for it. It just works. There's only one type, by the way, so you don't have to choose which reporter you want to use. If you need more than 4 ports, you need a second reporter. It's that easy. So this is what you will hear my entire presentation. Keep it simple, easy, standardized. That's how we make your project profitable. How can you use this device in a construction environment? I have a couple of applications. The first one is a weather station. If you equip your reporter with a wind sensor or a weather sensor, then it turns into a full-fledged weather station. Definitely if you power it with a solar panel. This is the picture that I had here in the front. This is what it looks like. This is the Corodion weather station. It's a real-time weather monitoring tool, relevant for construction if you have scaffolding, for example, to monitor, or any other kind of danger, rain, temperatures, and so on. Dewatering is another application that we are quite often active in. Dewatering means removing groundwater from the soil when you're building a basement or an underground parking garage. Then you have to have a lower groundwater level during the construction period. And then you have to, of course, measure the groundwater level. And in some countries, you are obliged to also monitor the flow. So how much water is being removed from the soil. Of course, when there's pumps running 24/7, you also want to be notified if the pressure drops, or for example, if the power goes down. These are things you want to monitor. Crack monitoring, tears and cracks in brick walls or concrete. Another popular application, for example, in Groningen, in Netherlands, you have problems of buildings that are breaking down sometimes, and then you have to see what this crack is doing, not in real time, but especially over a longer period of time. and you need a high accuracy. We have a sensor that measures with 1 micrometer precision. Air quality, so particulate matter, which means you want to monitor dust on the construction site. We do this with a sensor of delta ohm. It's a good one from, is it Austria or Germany? I'm not sure. Of course, you can also equip it with an additional anemometer to measure wind, for example, but this is one of the things that we do very often. Environmental parameters, that means measuring humidity, temperature, and dew point. When you are pouring concrete, when you are using glue or adhesives, some manufacturers of glue, for example, will write in the guidelines that you cannot use the glue when it's too humid or too hot or too cold, for example, because this glue will not work. Same for concrete. You have to be aware of the environmental parameters when you're pouring concrete when you want it to dry. We have a nice blog post on our website about a project that we did for TM Edison, Jan de Nul, where we are using the reporters to monitor humidity and temperature in the TM Edison energy island in the North Sea. It's also useful to have the GPS inside your reporter, because then you can really prove with data that the conditions on your construction site were good. So, as a recap, keep it simple. That's how you make data collection on your construction site easy and affordable. We only have one reporter. Every sensor fits every port, so you can make any combination. Reporter always connects to the Corodion cloud. And using these 3 rules, that's how we make it our mission to enable companies of all sizes to start making use of data. So some customer stories. These are quite diverse, and for every story I have multiple customers, but I'm just naming a few of them. By the way, I repeat, please put your questions in the questions tab so we can go over them afterwards. First customer testimonial is from Bax. It's a dewatering company specialized in groundworks, deep boreholes and dewatering, and they use Reporter to measure flow, vacuum pressure, groundwater level, and power outage on construction sites. Jules de Stroper, this is not construction related, but it's a great example of quite a big company who needs technology to make sure the cold rooms are monitored, and this is the exact same reporter that we use for them. Sanacon is a concrete specialized engineering office based in Belgium, and they use the reporter for measuring environmental parameters, humidity specifically, in the Thiepval War Monument in France. There they have a problem with humidity in the concrete structures, and they had to monitor humidity over a longer period of time. And they also use our reporter for tears and cracks in walls. Antwerp Terminal Services has a weather station of ours for monitoring wind and energy consumption in the port of Antwerp. Seminerals is a cement factory in the port of Ghent. They measure air quality, particulate matter, when certain ships are passing by. Because of certain ships, they know that the exhaust is providing dirty air, or they have a cargo, for example, which is known to cause troubles for nearby inhabitants, and then they have to monitor the air quality. They combine this with wind speed and direction and a measurement of water temperature, because they are obliged by the government to always keep track of the water temperature when they put water back in the canal. Totalwal is a Dutch engineering company specialized in landmeter. I don't know what they say in English, but You'll find out when you Google it. They also use our crack sensors to measure cracks in walls. Nothing special. Golf club in Latam. They use a flow meter of ours and the groundwater level sensor to detect how much water is being removed for irrigation, so pumped for irrigation, and what the impact of this pumping is on the groundwater level. Also not construction related, but they use the same technology. Alpro is a plant in Wevelgem. We connected one of their flow meters with just one reporter. Steenvastgoed is an apartment builder in Antwerp. They use our groundwater level sensors during the permit phase. So when they are requesting a permit from the government, very often they have to register the groundwater level proactively before they get the permit to get an idea of what the groundwater level is going to be during the works. Aquafin is a Belgian water company specialized in wastewater treatment, and they also manage a large part of the sewers. We help them with overflow valves monitoring, so detection of the position of the overflow valve with a 3-axis accelerometer and a water level sensor. And we have a second project with Aquafin where we were asked to detect water level and activate or deactivate a pump when a flood was predicted. So that was the purpose of the ActiPut project for Aquafin a few years ago. They wanted to see if you can use the water tanks of people at home to make some kind of a buffer when a flood is predicted. So they use the API, for example, to control these activations. Muurtuin vertical green walls. Well, it's construction, but it's related to fruit and agriculture. Temperature monitoring to measure the isolating effect of a green wall in combination with water flow and air quality sensors. And then I have one more. Bridgestone is a tire factory in Limburg. We help them with groundwater level monitoring, dew point measurement, and humidity in the warehouses. We also have some customers who are construction companies who store certain products, like dry cement, for example, and have to monitor the humidity of this cement during longer periods of time. Oh, one more, Borealis chemical factory in Limburg also. This is a project sold by our partner Equans. They, I think it's a weather sensor, just one wind sensor and one reporter on this construction site. There we go. So if you want to get started yourself, start your first measuring project, you go to our website and you can choose from the kits that we have pre-assembled. The weather kit is one of the easiest to start measuring tomorrow. Before you buy, please check if you have 4G signal in your area, but I think throughout Europe it's usually the case. And if you need any other sensors, you can always combine these, or we can make a quote for you. Let me refer again to the father of Sam that we talked about in the beginning. This is the guy we built this project for in the beginning, 10 years ago, and we thought that would be our audience. But as you can see on the next slide, over the past 9 years, we have worked for some very big companies. So it seems that even the largest companies often appreciate a quick go live and delivering smooth, easy, standardized technology. I think this is also the case in the construction sector. There are a lot of big companies who have certain departments where the budget is not unlimited. And in that case, standardization and plug and play can help you make your project profitable. There you have my contact details, and I suggest we skip now to the Questions, if you have any, please shoot. Let me see if any questions have come in. I have Julio here. How does the device make the internet connection? Is it Wi-Fi or GSM? Thank you, Julio, for the question. The reporter has a GSM modem on the inside. It connects through narrowband, which is 4G narrowband and 4G cut-M. And there's also a 2G fallback. We have global coverage with 600 providers. Definitely no Wi-Fi. I would strongly encourage you not to use Wi-Fi. Then Marco has a question. Can you measure vibrations and noise levels? Vibrations, yes, we can. There's a sensor for that, but I'm warning you, one vibration is not the other one. Noise is a bit more difficult, but we have a partner who can help you with noise measurements. If it's decibels or actually detecting noise patterns. So we can definitely talk about this. What are the power supply requirements is your second question. Reporter is powered by the sun or grid power. So 12 volts, 24 volts, or 220. And the small solar panel is 30 by 30 centimeters, so it's actually quite small. What if there is no mobile coverage on site? We have not found many areas yet in Europe where there is no mobile coverage, or it would have to be in the middle of nowhere, maybe in the deep forests in Germany. Maybe that's where you are. If there's no coverage, then we cannot connect. But our recommendation is always try it out. And we use narrowband, which is known for a better coverage. It's got a very low bandwidth, but it's got good coverage. So I would definitely try it out. Marcus, can you also detect salt water in groundwater? Can you also detect PFAS? PFAS we cannot detect. It's a chemical substance, so we can definitely not help you with that. Salt water you can detect with an conductivity sensor. So this one, yes, we can do. Jack, can the reporter work battery powered only? Same question as Marco. We cannot. Well, we can use the reporter with battery power for 2 weeks, and for now we don't have a firmware version for ultra low power use. Maybe this will be something for next year. So today we need grid power or solar power. Isabel, can I connect my own sensor? Yes, definitely. Let me know which sensor you'd like to connect. We need a type, a sensor type or sensor model, and a data sheet. And then if your sensor has one of those standardized signals like 420 milliamps or Modbus or 0 to 5 volts, 0 to 10 volts, then we can definitely read this. There we go. Any other questions? Anyone else? Not for now. I'm going to skip to the thank you slide. We stayed perfectly in the time frame as predicted. Everyone, please contact us, info@corodion.com, or my address is here on the slide. Feel free to also connect on LinkedIn. And I'm going to close the webinar now. You will get a mail with the recording, by the way. And if any of your colleagues were not able to make it, you can rewatch this webinar on YouTube. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Thank you for being here. Let's talk by mail or by telephone. See you soon. Bye.